Yo, what's up, everybody? It is the King of Anime podcast. We are here live this week. Sadly, we cannot have everything animated on. He is in another country dealing with some waifus, I heard. So he won't be here.
Yeah, whole hair on my head. That's just the rumors.
Yeah. I do wonder if he survived.
It is him, so I'm pretty sure that's easy work for him. I'm pretty sure he goes through that like every week.
So it'll be just us this week. I can't promise the show won't fail. We've never done this before. I don't know what's going on. I was just talking before the show. We were talking about how everything animated is like a good chunk of this whole show. So this is going to be interesting. So, God, is there anything that we want to talk about before the show begins? Usually we have something. Do we have anything this week?
I just want to say I miss my senpai, and I need him.
Same here. I agree. Let's see. I made a video about why the hell are you here, teacher? It's coming out tomorrow, and I'm just gonna say it's a weird video. That's for sure. That is for sure. So
it's a weird show.
it is really weird. That is for sure. So that being said, at the end of this show, we will be talking about the first week of the CKOA, which is really nice. Please remind me if I forget, because I forgot to post it until like 2 hours ago in the Discord chat. Again, this is like fourth week in a row. But yeah. It's fine. Let's talk about Dororo, which is now the first show that we'll be covering every week, which is a nice change of pace.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Mob Psycho.
Dororo.
No, I just meant I forgot about Mob Psycho being like the first show that we covered.
Okay, our chemistry is already terrible. Dororo and Hyakimaru decide to go to a spring. There they find Okoka. I'm starting to think that I may have been playing a prank on myself. Is that her actual name?
I'm going with the latter, Okaka. Yes. Yeah. It sounds like an insult or something.
Oh, a woman who looks like Dororo's mom. She tells them the story of the carver who couldn't finish a Buddha face, but it then turned out that the Buddha was taken over by an evil spirit and revived the carver to bring it faces and sacrifices. After that, after they dealt with the carver, they relax in the spring, and there seems to be a map on Dororo's back. I like this episode. I thought it was different. It went back to that episodic, not really episodic, but that kind of like story by story kind of thing on their journey. Mm-hmm. And it didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome.
Yeah, I thought, pretty much what you said. It felt like it was going back to not really following the set story of Dororo possibly fighting his father and his brother. And we kind of got away from that, and we just ventured on with this whole Buddha carver lady. And I mean, I think by the end of the episode, with the whole map being on Dororo's back, that kind of gave us something to push the story forward. That was like plot progression, but other than that, it was pretty much we focused on the new. It's kind of like a monster of the week kind of thing, kind of sorta, but I guess you could say demon of the week. And we had her in this episode, Okaka, and I gotta say, Dororo was very awkward in this episode because asking a stranger to just call you mama is, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it's like, I don't know, a thing of the time or whatever, but like, these days, like if you see someone who looks exactly like your mom, you're like, I know that's not my mom. You would usually you would be like, there's so many people, I'm there's probably someone who looks very similar to my mom out there somewhere. But I guess
Yeah,
back
it's
then
just
there wasn't a lot of people, so
yeah, and it was just weird because Okaka pretty much was like, okay, sure, sure. I mean, but of course she was evil, so maybe that's why she was so willing to do it.
right, yeah. That's actually exactly why, because she wants the sacrifices. I wonder what the Buddha would have gotten if he gotten the right face,
Oh yeah,
because they never,
I
I don't think they ever explained that.
they didn't. It was just, I mean, with her, she got so lost trying to create faces that it ended up not having a face. So, yeah, the story didn't really say what would happen if you found the right face. And I think maybe the whole point was there wasn't going to be a right face because she was so lost trying to just find the right face. But um, yeah, because to me, it didn't really make any sense because if you're taking the faces of other people, then it's not unique. It's somebody else's face.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't really get that, but maybe that was the whole moral of the thing. But just talking about Okaka a little, uh, she was evil, but she wasn't that bad because she actually didn't tie up Dororo and just basically let him walk. But of course, Dororo wasn't going to let Kyakimaru get captured and sacrificed. So that's a interesting thing with most of these villains. Even they're like, there's almost no one that's completely bad as long as they have some type of human form or something, because there's just regular demons that go out and just try to kill you straight up. But we've seen their point of view, so you can kind of sympathize with some of these villains that we see, and I think Okaka was another one of those.
Wasn't she the carver that carved the Buddha statue in the first place?
Yes.
And she was in. So, is she the same person as he was back in the day, or is like a part? Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying. Um,
because didn't they play a scene at the end of the episode as well about, or maybe it was after Okaka dies. There was something about her, I believe, and she didn't seem like a very bad person at all. But like, I do wonder. I guess the reason the Buddha chose Okaka to have a female appearance is probably to get people's attention, I assume.
yeah.
Because I think the way it works is like their deepest, truest desires come to form in her, which is interesting because that's why Dororo saw her mother. Sorry, and yeah, and that led to all that awkwardness. But at the same time, I also felt like it almost made sense to be awkward in her her situation.
Yeah.
Because she is this kid who obviously has a very strong attachment to her family. Like, she saw her family go through terrible, awful stuff before dying, and not only that, but they all died for her so that she could live. So, like, if that happened to me and I saw someone who looked like someone I cared about that passed away, especially exactly like her, apparently. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Same voice too.
Same voice, exactly. I don't know what I do. That would just be that would not be a fun situation, I think, for myself. And for Dororo, it seemed like she was so relieved, which is a good thing about the writing of this anime, is they can convey emotions through the writing really well.
Yeah. I want to talk about Hyakimaru a little bit because in the beginning of the episode, he was kind of an asshole because Dororo was trying to get him to brighten up because after all of what they've been through with his brother his mom trying to, commit suicide, and then his father basically calling him a demon and whatnot. Dororo was trying to lighten up the mood. I mean, I get Hyakimaru because, like I said, he went through a traumatic event, but he kind of just like ran over Dororo basically, and he did it again at the end of the episode. But this time he was like, "All right, I'll go to the hot springs. Let's have some fun." But yeah, it was just interesting because we really haven't had a moment like that from Hyakimaru other than the whole Mio situation when he freaked out. This is the first time he's really shown emotions, I guess you could say.
Yeah, he is slowly getting more and more emotive, and I think that's because he has his voice. He I guess a nervous system would play into that a little bit, but he's getting more of his body parts back and stuff, which is really interesting. Oh, did we see him get a body part back? I don't think we did.
Oh, I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure we did. I would have. I would hope I would remember that.
Yeah, I didn't see him get one back. I wonder why that is, because a demon did inhabit the Buddha carving. So
yeah,
I wonder maybe we'll see that in the next episode. Oh, also we got the new opening from Asian Kung Fu Nation.
Yeah, we did.
God, I love Asian Kung Fu Nation. Do you like them?
I mean, I don't know music. I know nothing, but I like this opening. But I still don't like it better than the first one because Party is Over. I love that. But I still love this opening.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, Asian Kung Fu Nation, if people watching don't know, they're basically kind of known for doing like a million Naruto openings.
Shit.
Yeah, okay. They did a bunch of them. There's like a couple really popular ones that I can't name right now. But yeah, I actually think this song is one of their better ones I've heard in a while. Now, I don't follow the band like closely. Like I don't buy their albums because it costs $1 million to import stuff from Japan these days, and I don't think they have any releases here in the States. But yeah, it was a surprise to hear Asian Kung Fu Nation in an anime that isn't Naruto.
I want to know which openings they did for Naruto. I mean, I'll probably look it up after, but yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did.
But talking about the visuals a little bit, just one thing I noticed, like by the end of the opening, you can see Dororo, or not Dororo, Hyakimaru is touching Dororo's face, and then you can see his reflection, Dororo's reflection in Hyakimaru's eyes. So I thought that was interesting because it's kind of alluding him getting his sight. And I think we already guessed that his sight is probably the last thing he'll see because it's him seeing like the spirits and the souls of other people is like his main thing. So I think it would be appropriate for the last sense or the last body part he gets is to be his eyes.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Like I get goosebumps thinking about that. Like what will happen when he gets his sight back? Because oh man, just the thought of a man who's been blind his whole life, just getting his sight back. Just in general, even if it isn't Dororo or Hyakimaru, gosh darn it, it's a cool thought, and I can't wait to see it, and I wonder how they'll do it. Also, at the beginning of when we first see Okaka, she's dragging a man, and he's saying while he's being dragged, "You're not my wife. Let me go." And I thought that was just so funny. There's some funny parts in Dororo, and I like that. It's a dark show, but it has a sense of humor, which is really nice.
She has a lot of strength to be pulling that dude. That was something I didn't even really think about, but yeah, she's just dragging his ass all the way up to the waterfall.
By the head, right?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she has to at least have a strong grip to stay gripped onto a man's head. Because I thought he was bald too. I may be wrong about that. I don't know.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, this. Oh my god, is there anything more I can say? Well, where do you think the map leads to, or if it leads to anything, or why
I
is it
have
there in the first
no
place?
I have no clue who could have done that. I mean, I guess the first guess would be Dororo's father, but it was just such a weird thing because now Dororo has a lot more importance on the story with this whole. I mean, we don't even know if for sure it's a map, but from the kids talking, it probably is. So, the story was really centered around Hyakimaru despite Dororo's name being in the title, but now Dororo is going to have some impact on whatever happens if this is a map. And then the question is, a map to what? And I have no clue right now.
Like, I mean, the obvious ones go through my head, like a treasure, or like gold, like in Golden Kamui. But
Yeah, that's what came in my mind.
I don't. What would they? These characters don't seem to be in the need for gold. Maybe they'll come across like a town or something like that, and the map. Then they'll like need the gold in the map or whatever because it helps the town or someone or something. Or maybe it's like I don't know, a map to something Yakimaru needs. It's I have no idea. None at all.
Yeah,
Not
I want to know how this is going to tie into what's going on with Hyakimaru because I feel like it has to overlap. Because if it's something completely different, I don't see what would be the point of even having this map introduced to us in this episode. I feel like whatever is going on with the map has something to do with Hyakimaru, but it has to be written in a way that made sense because like let's say if it was a map to Daigo's shrine where all the demons are, let's just throw that out there. Like why would that be on Dororo's back?
yeah,
Like it's
exactly.
just yeah.
Yeah. That also makes me think like I know the source material is much longer than what is going to be covered in this season, or at least this series so far. I wonder if there's going to be a second season of this, and maybe that'll play into that more. Um,
Hmm.
I don't
Hopefully.
know. I hope there's a season 2. I hope there's a season 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 20. The show's awesome. Um,
Yeah. Just don't let it be a anime original ending, please. Just please.
yeah, especially when there's no need for it because the source ended, like what, 50, 60 years ago, something like that.
Yeah. It would be really tragic to have an anime ending.
Get Studio Pierrot in here; they'll fix this series right up.
Oh God.
Oh God, yeah, no, let's not do that. Oh, in the opening, so every opening in Dororo has kind of hinted at stuff that will be playing out in the story. The fire thing, maybe I don't know. There's a party. There's no party anywhere. But what I do
Mm.
know is that some of the visuals play into some of the things that happen in the series. It seems the Yakimaru's brother, he's gonna be turning a little bit evil in this season.
Uh, yeah.
I can't. I kind
That's
of.
what happens when you lose an eye. It's just,
Yeah. I immediately thought when he got his eye cut, I was like, oh, there he goes. He's not gonna let that go, and he's gonna want to kill Hyakimaru. And I kind of can't wait for that because it's the showdown of two brothers. Who wouldn't want something like that? Although it does make me wonder, what's gonna happen to the father in all this. Maybe he's gonna, I don't know, be all cowardly and stuff, and Hyakimaru is just gonna cut his head off.
I feel like Daigo has to die because he's the root of all of this when it comes down to it, because he's the one who made this deal, even though Hyakimaru is the one suffering from it. So I feel like Daigo is going to die by the end of the series, but with Tohomaru, fuck,
I think it's
I
Tahomaru.
forgot. Okay, Tahomaru. With him, he already, I mean, I don't think he's ever going to be evil, but now he's going to have kind of like a bloodlust for killing Yakimaru. But the thing is, even before that, he already had the resolve to kill him because he realized I have to either kill my brother or let the land suffer. And as we already said, of course, he's going to choose the many over the one in this case.
Everything goes back to fate. That's. I think we
Yes.
talked about it last time. That's a key thing in Fate. Stay Night and Fate. Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Feel. I mean, what are we giving this? I think this is easy.
Oh yeah, just easy pass.
Yeah, easy kill for me.
Oh God. Whoa.
just kidding. Pass. I actually don't think we can kill anything this week. So even if, unless me and you agree to kill it, then nothing can die. That's 50-50. So that's an interesting thought. What? No. Why is One Punch Man up next? It's supposed to be Shield Hero. Gosh darn it, I have to go one page over. Let's talk about Shield Hero. Shield Hero episode 14, Everlasting Memory. Melty is captured by a group of lolicons, and so the Shield Hero goes to rescue her. But something turns out the person who took Melty is also the person who separated Raftalia from her family. Will Raftalia get her revenge? I need to start just writing these notes better, because I can't read anything. I'm not even sure if that's actually what I wrote. Just kind of spitballing.
I mean, my handwriting is the worst in history. When I try to look at things I write and I'm just trying to read it, I'm like, who wrote this? Like, it's terrible. But yeah, talking about the not self-proclaimed, the alleged lolicon in this episode, and no, I'm not talking about SeaTactics this time.
Hey, whoa! I'm not a lolicon.
I said we're not talking about you this time. Maybe later we'll have a discussion. But
I am not a lolicon, though.
In denial, but we have Edo River. I think that's his name, and I don't get what he was trying to do in this episode, because you have him. He has Melty, and was he going to try to kill her? Like, what? He just cornered her, and I honestly was confused on, because at first I thought maybe he's going to try to capture her, get a ransom. That makes sense. You get money, or I don't know, he tries to draw out the Shield Hero, but it doesn't seem like he was trying to do either, because he was trying to corner her at the very end. So
I think I don't think he was going to kill her. I think
oh God,
he was going to do the R word to her.
Oh, so he's full on lolicon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely with Ralphie killing him.
I'm with Ralphie killing him anyways, because he did all of that terrible stuff to her family, separated her from her, which is a note in my notes, by the way. Her possibly sister and her mother and father got them killed. Maybe got her sister killed. I hope not. Maybe there's another raccoon girl out there who's still alive. But yeah, no, he deserves all that's coming to him. He's just this rich, aristocratic politician guy who just thinks he can do anything he wants. He's kind of like the Electronic Arts of this universe.
He is a character. I'll say that. But one thing that kind of annoyed me in the episode was Philo. It was something minor, but like when you have Melty get captured, you have Nafumi yell out, Philo, where are you? Because he's worried, because Melty just got taken away and Philo was nowhere in sight. And then she's like, oh, I was playing hide and go seek. Like, what? What?
Yeah. Melty told her to go, that they were playing hide and go seek and to go hide.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, because Philo she has a childish mindset, so it makes sense, but it kind of annoyed me. I'm like, oh my goodness, this situation is so serious, and then you're just like playing around. But yeah.
It was clever of Melty to do that, though. I will admit. because it did get her to play along. And I do wonder, because maybe, I don't know, does Philo seem kind of the hot-headed type to see something like that Naofumi and Raftalia saw, to just jump out from cover and make a scene like that?
I mean, she is hot-headed because as soon as she heard about what happened to Melty, she wanted to like raid the mansion and attack. So I would assume so.
Probably eat them. She eats anything.
Yeah, or just like put them to sleep in her feathers. Just
we need another scene of that. That was some brilliant comedy.
I need that.
Just the way Raftalia put her hands in there, like, just mid sentence falls asleep.
They just sink. Yeah, they just sink into the feathers. It's awesome.
I kind of want to sleep in Philo. Oh God, damn it.
Oh God. Oh, timestamp. That's definitely getting timestamp.
No, you can't use that against me. Oh. Okay. We're not going to dwell on that. That is a thing that happened. So, God, they introduced this guy with like these small glasses. I don't remember who he is, but he's friends of Melty.
Mm-hmm. His name is Ray. I mean, I know they pronounced it in the anime a different way, but it's like Raychanot. I know that's definitely not how you say it, but it's spelled Reichnott. I'm just going to call him Ray for the, just so it's easier. But he just
Ray. So like in the
Ray.
Promised Neverland.
No.
Yeah.
It's not spelled the same though.
But you can say Ray, like Ray-E, like how they pronounce it in that show. Just continue. Just continue.
No, Ray. But he shadow stepped, and Naofumi was like, "Yo, how did this dude sneak up on us without us hearing anything?" So that leads me to think that he's a suspicious character. I still do, because even though at the end of this episode it seemed like he was an actual victim of the other guy, forgot his name, Lolicon man,
Moriyasu, or the other guy,
the Lolicon who tried to corner Melty. I don't know, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, me neither.
But I still think he's shady. He just seems very shady. It's just a feeling. It's nothing he really did in this episode. It's just I don't trust him. They got found out literally a day after they moved in with him. So I don't, even if he had nothing to do with that, I still am not going to trust him with anything going forward. I just don't.
Also, Kay, this is the Shield Hero, Rising of the Shield Hero. Yeah, no, the first thing I thought when I saw this guy, besides his kind of unmemorable role in the episode, was, he's going to portray Melty. I don't know. See, I don't remember this part in the manga. I don't know if they changed it out of order, if my memory's bad, or if I just wasn't paying attention during this part as much. But I don't remember this part at all. Like, I don't remember this part where they take where I take my baguette, where they take. That's it, bitch. I'm a redneck now. Where they take Melty away. I don't remember this at all. I do remember Raftalia confronting the guy, but not anything like that. And also, it's interesting. So when Naofumi and Raftalia are hiding inside the closet, you can see Raftalia is just like sweating bullets and like ready to just jump out and attack those guards. And I thought that was a cool, nice little touch, because it's not it wasn't like, I don't know, sugar coated or anything like that. It was a nice thing that other like details in another isekai would not have.
Yeah, you even had her tail get all fuzzy, like how Hollow's tail gets when she is angry and whatnot. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm interested. I mean, you can already piece together what her history is with the dude, and his name is Edel. That was his name. Edel.
Ooh.
Edel. Um, you can already piece together what her history is with him, but she still hasn't really explicitly said it their relationship to Nafumi. So it'll be, I want to see what her decision is, because I honestly do think that she's going to back out of killing him,
Of
because
course. Yeah.
yeah, no, with this type of show, we don't really see characters get killed in cold blood, at least not from the protagonist side. We don't really see that. So I want to know why that would happen, because he's looking pretty irredeemable right now. So I want to see why they back out of killing him, if they do, but we know they will.
I think the main reason for it is kind of live and let die, forgive and forget. I guess that would make the most sense to me, because these now Fumi, for how cold he is, doesn't seem murderous, and it doesn't seem like he would let his party members kill another person unless it's for an extremely good reason, like it has to happen, or unless it's like a monster or something. And I don't think Raftalia would do it anyways, because she doesn't seem like the person that would kill other humans.
Yeah,
she's too nice.
And yeah, that's another thing you can kind of think about, because she is demi-human. So with her killing a human, I mean, that would definitely leave a even worse reputation for her species or race, or whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with his standing, because he, despite his lolicon-ish tendencies, he's an important person. So hearing that a demi-human killed someone like that, their reputation would go, it would absolutely plummet.
Yeah. And I mean, the king, we also learned in this episode at the very beginning that the king banished demi-humans to like these remote locations, which makes me think that a part of this, maybe the next season, because there's no way this is not getting a season 2, but maybe in the next season or near the end of this season, they'll touch more upon the demi-humans being banished, and maybe they'll kind of, one of the big things is making them, restoring their standing in society. Could be interesting.
Yeah, because that's one thing is kind of being, it seems like it's foreshadowing that the shield and the shield hero and the demi-humans, they have a connection. All right, because I guess maybe the previous shield hero had something to do with a demi-human, they got together, but it seems like their rise and fall is together. So that's an interesting thing. And also with the king having these demi-humans, and they're separated in remote locations, that gives us a chance to, when we're run, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be on a run for a good majority of this show, because there's no way that Nafumi can go back to the capital until this whole thing with Mine is resolved. This gives us shelter for other places that we go to, because if we happen to find a demi-human, of course they'll take in a fellow demi-human like Ralphie, and of course Nafumi and Philo and Melty, if she is still traveling with them at that time. So it kind of gives us a home for our protagonists.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely does seem like maybe the past shield hero definitely had a strong connection with the demi-human people, and then I guess the current regime started manipulating everybody. I guess that's what happened, or something close to it at least. Also, I think it's this episode. Raftalia, Naofumi, Melty, and Philo are all eating at a table, and I thought this was a nice little touch, but and very funny. Raftalia is like a mother to Philo, because Philo's like just being very rude, and Raftalia is like, "Watch your manners." I thought that was just a nice little touch.
Yeah, and I guess you can look at their relationship like that because it's like Naofumi is the father, Ralphie is the mother. Even though we have the whole lolicon thing, but it's still like that because even though, despite Ralphie's age, she is the more mature person in the party, and then you have Melty who, she's like the older kid, I guess you could say, because even though she can be mature, she still is a kid because she plays with Philo and and of course her actual age. But yeah, that's a kind of fun thing to look at when you're trying to analyze their party and you're trying to assign them to roles and whatnot.
Yeah, and also I don't think if I've ever talked about this or that anybody knows, I don't think the show addresses it because I think we skipped past the point of where it would address it. But Raphtalia's mind and body are completely matured now, so she is pretty much an adult completely in every sense of the word besides age. So it would make
Yep.
sense as to why she is so mature. Also, speaking of Melty, I don't know how to feel about this. There's this scene where Philo and Melty are talking to each other, and Philo's like, Melty, you got to get Naofumi to dunk on you and stuff. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. That I didn't like because I already did not like the whole thing with Philo seeking attention from Naofumi. I mean, they do it in a way to where it's not that weird because Philo, like I already said before, is kind of childish. So it's more like a child trying to get the attention of their father or something. But in this situation, it was more like a romantic type of feel to it, and I did not like it. It was just it felt unnecessary. Like we really didn't need to see that. All right.
Right, yeah. I'm okay with, like, I'm really not, but, like, I'm okay with Raphtalia because at least for her, she's technically matured. But Melty and Philo and all these lollies, and man, I guess the lollies just really love Shield Hero because
Yeah.
he Motoyasu wishes he was the Shield Hero at this point.
He would love being a shield hero right now.
For
He
sure.
would absolutely love it.
Just for Philo. Apparently,
Yeah.
I've seen like official art with Motoyasu and Philo together, being very happy.
Oh God.
I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if later in the story things change. I don't want to know. um,
I don't need it. I don't need it.
yeah,
I'd rather just have Philo just kick his ass every single time he sees him.
yeah, hit him
Nothing more.
right square in the nuts.
Yes.
That would be nice. So what are we giving this one? This to me is also a pretty easy pass.
Same for me. Pass.
All right, now let's talk about One Punch Man season 2.
Oh God. Oh God.
I really wish EA was here because EA would add a certain dynamic to this. Because he may have I feel EA probably has a similar but probably different in key aspects, like an opinion than us. Because
Yeah.
let's okay. One Punch Man season 2 episode 1. I don't know the title of it. Turns out King is a 29-year-old otaku who, by sheer accident, became a high-ranking hero. My handwriting's really good, and when Saitama learns this, he tells King to either quit or become stronger. Gino then takes out the robot god, or it's like G4 or something.
Yeah. G4.
And takes his remains to his master, where we learn that there is a strong villain they have to be careful about or something. And Saitama seems to be popular as Speedasonic. It's the first time we've seen him in a while. And Hellish Blizzard both want to find him.
Yeah.
You have a podcast for One Punch Man, right?
Yes. We talk about the manga, and I've actually because it's been a while since I've read this arc, but watching this episode brought back a lot of memories. So I don't even know where to start at. Should we go for the most obvious thing that everybody is talking about?
So JC Staff replaced Madhouse as the season 2 lead producer of the animation. I'm sure Madhouse had a lot to do with what you see, but in terms of like producing and stuff. But JC Staff, yeah, they're the people doing this, and I guess people aren't happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this is the first episode, all right? So I think that alone should already give people more hesitation to call out JC Staff and say that they're doing a terrible job and whatnot. But even then, we didn't have a significant fight with this chapter because reading the manga, I know what's going to happen down the line with this season. So the fights that people should really have stock in hasn't been shown yet. It's the first episode again, but just looking at the animation this episode, I did not think it was that bad. I mean, I was seeing on my Twitter, Discord, other social media sites that this first episode was absolutely god awful, and I don't see it. I mean, it was all right. It wasn't anything phenomenal that made me want to jump out of my chair, but it wasn't anything that made me want to, stab out my eyes. So I honestly don't see what other people are seeing.
There's like difference in color palette and some of like the way the characters' proportions are built, but like it's so minor. Like last night, for example, I watched One Punch Man episode 1 again. And I watched before this, like right before viewing this episode, I watched the last 3 episodes of One Punch Man to catch myself up. To compare episode 1 and episode 1 of this is probably a bad comparison because episode 1 has like a huge, really awesome fight in it, that dream sequence he had.
Yeah.
And I think, and then watching the last 3 episodes again and going to season 2, like immediately after finishing episode 12 or 13 or whatever it was, I didn't really notice anything. I was like, oh, this looks like One Punch Man to me. There were some lighting stuff as well that looked different, and it looked more of stuff I'd see with like Planet With, which if I'm gonna be honest, I love JC Staff. I think they can do great things because I don't know if anyone's seen this anime. This is a very diamond in the rough anime, and it only came out last year. There's this anime called Planet With, and it has like a really awesome opening sequence, and in general it has just really good sound design and animation. I'm talking like not like UFO table levels, but like how you think about Fate levels of like quality and stuff. So
yeah,
I think JC Staff can pull this off. I think they picked a good studio to do it. I also think that I don't think you shouldn't criticize JC Staff just yet, or you shouldn't be able to criticize JC Staff at all. But what I do think is that you shouldn't be going out and saying this is the worst thing ever, because it's just it's really not. It looks really good. I mean, it looks really good.
Yeah, I think that was my main problem because listen, I'm the king of complaining. I complain a lot. So I'm not going to sit here and say that people don't have the right to complain about what they see as lackluster or just subpar, but I don't agree with that. And I also believe that we haven't seen enough from this to make that conclusion, draw that conclusion. I really think that you have like 2 reasons why people are saying it's so bad, or maybe 3. Maybe you can say the actual animation, maybe they do think it's that bad. You also have it to where JC Staff is starting to have this bad reputation because of you have Food Wars.
Well, they produce a lot of anime every season as well.
But what most people, or just the circle I'm around, what they know JC Staff for really is Food Wars, and people were really down on the last season of Food Wars because it had a reputation of just being like a slideshow rather than actual animation. So
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have that working against JC Staff, and then you have it to where you have people on social media, and I'm not going to say specific names, but they are. I mean, before One Punch Man even came out, they were already talking about some of the problems that the studio was going through with the animators and them not animating episodes on a deadline. So it was just a bad narrative to start with One Punch Man. So once the first episode came out, people weren't looking to enjoy it. They were looking to pick apart the episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at screenshots right now of G4 and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. How do you not like that? And so the action with G4 in this episode was awesome as well. I don't understand how anyone says this looks bad, even in comparison to the Madhouse stuff. You also showed me the comparison between the web manga and Madhouse, and the manga just looks so much better. Even Madhouse cannot do that unless they have like years to prepare.
Yeah, and that was another thing I started to see. I saw people compare still images to the manga panels, and I was just thinking in my head, if you're going to do that with season 2, then if you did the same thing in season 1, which people have done, if you see the armored gorilla in particular with season 1, and you compare it to the manga panels look much better. So I think comparing those two mediums, the manga and the anime, is not a right way to call out the bad animation for season 2, because first of all, that's not animation, and second of all, in my opinion, the manga has always looked better, and that's just it for me.
The manga looks unreal.
There's some key panels where I'm looking at Yusuke Murata as like a top 5 manga artist. I haven't read that many manga, but he is phenomenal, really.
I think you showed me screenshots of the ending of season 1 with the, I don't want to, well, I guess we're talking about season 2, but like the when the aliens invade, which is really, that was a good way to end season 1, by the way. Was it Hellish Blizzard?
Fubuki-chan. I love Fubuki.
Yeah,
I love Fubuki.
She's boobalicious.
Yes,
that's for sure.
I don't know. Are we going to call her? Well, I don't know if the show is going to call her Hellish Blizzard,
Hellish boobs,
or Fubuki. They are hellish. Yes, that is the truth. That is the truth.
But I guess like closing thoughts on the JC Staff thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't criticize JC Staff. I think if you don't like it, then you don't like it. There's nothing wrong with that. I think the outrage is the part that I take issue with. There should not be outrage of this caliber for an anime, for many things, let alone, but for an anime that already looks as good as it does. Even JC Staff, I think that this looks pretty much like Madhouse stuff.
Yeah. Last thing I want to add is we have, I don't think they named him in this episode, so I won't say his name, but I'll just say we got a good upcoming villain that we've seen in the last couple of minutes of this episode.
Yeah, you're right. It's the spiky white hair guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, man, that guy looks cool.
He is cool, certainly.
I want to see more of that guy. I mean, he looks like a more like crazier version of Vegeta. Which, by the way, I've been watching a lot of Dragon Ball Super lately, trying to get catched up with the rumored season 2, which isn't really rumored. It's pretty much confirmed. So this episode, so King shows up. I love this. So the way they introduce this episode is he goes to a store to pick up basically a Hatsune Miku game, which also the the guy who writes music for Hatsune Miku and some other key stuff, he recently passed away. So this is kind of some sad timing, I guess. But so he goes to buy this game, and it's interesting because he says they've been waiting for almost like 3.5 years for it, right?
I
Basically,
don't know what he specifically said.
Basically, the same length that this anime has been absent. And I drew parallels to that. And I'm like, okay, you're referencing the gap of time. That's really interesting. Oh, we got some comments here from Key or K. I can't see. The text is too small. For me, the draw of season 1 of one... Oh, never mind. It went away. Not able to read it. Sorry. I need to change the timing of that.
Oh, it's Key. Okay. Key. Yeah. Okay. He said, for me, the draw of season 1 of One Punch Man was almost... what? Oh, entirely the animation. The jokes hit, but the premise wasn't compelling enough to keep me watching without the top tier graphics attire. Oh yeah, okay.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think I think the plot isn't as compelling on its own as it is, as it is without the action. I think the action is what it's like it's a well-oiled machine. It's got to work together.
Yeah, that's a fair point because I think there is more to One Punch Man than people give credit to it, but I see what people are saying because the animation is the thing that draws them because they want to see the fights mainly, but I just don't think the first episode and this fight that we see from Genos and G4 is enough to tell the tale on the animation because there's more to come. So that's just my opinion on it.
We also, so this is a weird one. King plays on a knockoff Xbox in Japan. I don't think Xbox in Japan is a thing, but it's obviously an Xbox One he's playing on. I don't know why that is. Maybe there's this stigma in Japan of Xbox being a weird, like, true hardcore, like, console for super hardcore otaku guys. I'm not sure about that. But he's playing an Xbox and he's in Japan. We also learned that, he's this 29-year-old otaku who completely by accident became this high-ranking hero. This is hilarious. How did that happen? That he is like, what was he he's like rank 7 or he's like really high.
Yeah, class S rank 7. And not only that, but his literal I guess you want to say his the air around his character is that he is the strongest man in the world. So despite his rank, people literally think that he is the strongest. So when he shows up, just his name and his appearance causes fear within the enemies. So that's what made it so funny that when he went up against an enemy who doesn't feel fear because it's a fucking robot, he wasn't able to use his intimidation, which is probably how he fights because he can't fight at all.
I like how he's supposed to strike fear into everyone, but he gets this fear stricken in him, and he has to go to the bathroom, and he's like freaking out. He's like, I want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. This is terrible. I love it. Also, the game he has is called Heartthrob Sisters. That's his favorite game, apparently, is Heartthrob Sisters.
Is that like an actual game?
I don't think so. I think it's a reference to something, though. Because in the same scene they reference Gundam, but it's like a knockoff Gundam.
Just for the title, I'm thinking like, is he playing like some dating sim game or like some Yuri game or something? Like I don't know.
he's not only playing on an Xbox One, he is playing a dating simulator on an Xbox One. What?
Oh, wow.
That's not a thing. Maybe on the 360, but I don't think the Xbox One, because the Xbox 360 had tons of support in Japan. Well, not as much as the PlayStation, but much more than the Xbox One. Did you know in Japan 1 month, I think they sold like 100 Xbox Ones in the whole of Japan?
Holy shit! I did not know that.
They're probably selling.
That's a lot.
They're probably selling less than that every month now. They're probably not even doing 50. Because I think in some places or in some months in the States, they're only selling like 1,000 Xbox Ones every month. Yeah, the Xbox One wasn't really that successful. So he's mistaken for this hero all the time. Then we get this whole sequence with Saitama and King. Saitama's like, you either got to get stronger or you got to quit. And it makes me think, do you think he's going to try to get stronger?
I don't think it would be a good time to ask me that question because I know what's going to happen. But
God damn it.
I would.
Ghost of EA, do you think he will get stronger? Interesting insight.
Yeah, there's your answer.
There we go. So yeah, at the end, Hellish Blizzard and Speedasonic show up. They want Saitama. Then there's that after credit scene with that guy. I don't know who Hellish Blizzard is. I guess I shouldn't ask you, but she's wearing like very extravagant fur clothing, so I'm thinking maybe she is very important and has a lot of connections. As for Speedasonic, we know him. He got punched in the dick.
Yeah, very by Saitama of all people.
Yeah. So that's probably why he wants Saitama. And then the after credit scene. I don't know who this guy is going to be at all. I don't know who Hellish Blizzard or this guy is. I don't know what their involvement of the series will be. I assume they'll be the main villains of this season.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do this when the other person knows everything.
I know this time I know everything. Usually I know nothing, but yeah.
Yeah, this episode was pretty awesome. I liked basically everything about it. I'm a bigger fan of One Punch Man than I am Mob Psycho 100 by a long shot. So I'm excited for One Punch Man to continue and to cover it weekly and to probably get some tidbits thrown in there by you. And
it's kind of weird that I like One Punch Man better than Mob Psycho, but at the same time, I think Mob Psycho is better. Just like from a story writing perspective, because I feel like Mob Psycho actually has a story, whereas One Punch Man, it has some sort of a story because Saitama wants to be recognized and he wants to be the top hero, but I feel like we don't touch on that much. But honestly, I think I just want to see the fights. Like with One Punch Man, I'm just like, all right, fuck the story. I just want to see Saitama punch some things. And the other heroes, of course.
Yeah, no, I want to see everybody kick each other's ass. Oh, yeah, so the Geno thing, he brings like the robot lord guy back, and they talk about how there's like, am I wrong in saying that they were talking about there being an even more powerful villain out there, or am I just going crazy? Because I was taking notes during this.
No, you're not going crazy.
Okay.
They talked about this in season 1 about there being an organization and they are supposed to have like robot tech as well. So that's Genos's purpose as well. You know, not only does he want to be the student for Saitama, but he wants to it's like this clan thing, and I honestly forgot the backstory because it hasn't been touched on in a while. So, but yeah, there's an organization with robots and whatnot that he wants to fight. So yeah, there's that.
I assume that is how he'll become stronger as well. I assume he'll have some giant death ray by the end of this.
I mean, I think he already has one.
He'll have another one. He'll have 3.
Yeah.
He'll have 3 more. It's been a while since I've seen One Punch Man as well, so I don't remember some key things. So we're killing this, right? Fuck JC Staff.
Fuck JC Staff. This was a disappointment. I'm so ashamed. My eyes were burning while watching the first episode of season 2.
Mob wasn't even in this episode. What the fuck, man?
Yeah. Super trash.
No, I'm passing this. This is great.
Yeah, I'll pass it too, I guess.
That was like rather like, whatever. That's half-hearted. Let's talk about Carole Tuesday from the creator of that guy. Also, it says 1 core on there. I meant to put 2 core. Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. I think it's 2 core. Is it? Maybe 3 core. It may not even be 1. It may just be a 6-episode short. You never know. Carole Tuesday episode 1, aka the anime from the Cowboy Bebop guy. Tuesday runs from home to reinvent herself in Alba City, the melting pot of people and dreams on Mars. There, Tuesday meets Carole, a girl who plays piano, and after a most righteous jam sesh, they decide to perform and write music together. What'd you think?
I really like this anime. But before I get into it, are we calling Carole or Carole? Because I don't want the guys to, go in the comment section and say, it's Carole.
We're going to call her Casserole.
Casserole.
I think that's a good in between.
No, no. We're not doing that.
What about Goat Lord?
Choose one. I mean, I've been calling her both Carole and Carole, but I don't know.
It's Carole, goddammit. Carole Tuesday. It sounds like a country band.
It does. But yeah, I like this episode. It introduced a good amount of characters. I mean, it seems like the main people we're going to focus on are, of course, Carole Tuesday. We also have Angela, and we have Tuesday's family. No. They Carole did talk about her family, but I don't think that they're going to be relevant to the story. But from what I've seen in this first episode, Tuesday's parents are kind of controlling, and they have sheltered her, so she wanted to leave and run away so she can play in a band and I guess get famous or whatever she wants, which is interesting because she's fucking rich. She is rich, so she could have gotten anything she want from, I guess, a financial standpoint, but of course she ran away from home probably because her mother would not, I'm assuming it's her mother wouldn't allow her to play in a band. So
that's likely
that's
case.
Something.
And if not, they could easily remedy that by saying she just wants to be free, be on her own, be a free spirit, earn her keep kind of thing.
Yeah. Which
that's probably a thing anyways. But if that's not, then they could use that pretty easily, and it'd be very easy to get by with that. Yeah, no, I was kind of sad that Yoko Kanno wasn't involved, because Yoko Kanno on Cowboy Bebop created just some really rockin' stuff that I listen to Yoko Kanno stuff every day, not just Bebop, but lots of Bebop stuff. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm a former professional musician, and a lot of the stuff in this anime was so spot on. The part where they jam together for the first time, and she's playing the piano and she's kind of ringing out some notes, both on her piano and her voice. Just the little pauses as she's trying to get the chording right and her voice right. And when Tuesday starts to play on her guitar, it doesn't sound exactly right, but in the next chord, the next transition, it gets a little bit better. And they play another bar of it, and it gets a little bit better. And then she starts to sing a little bit, and they both start to sing. That's how a jam is. And that was awesome to see, because it was so accurate to how I used to jam in my band back in the day. Not back in the day, it was 2 years ago. But that's kind of how that works. And a lot of people actually wouldn't know that, because a lot of these days music is created on a computer and stuff. Even rock music. And music like these two would play. Technology has evolved to a point where you can just create one-man bands. So not a lot of people have experienced this scene. And if you got goosebumps during this scene, you get goosebumps when you're actually doing that. And it feels so good. Also, some other things. They actually have actual brands. They have a Gibson. I forget the model of the guitar that Tuesday has, but she has an actual Gibson. Well, they also actually use Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Carole has it's a Nord piano. I'm not. Hers. I don't know if that's an actual model or not. It may be the whole folding piano. I'm sure that's a thing. But yeah, in terms of that, also references to Cyndi Lauper. That was really awesome. I don't know if you like Cyndi Lauper, but Cyndi Lauper is one of the most underrated musicians of all time. At one point, she was one of the most influential people, one of the most popular people on planet Earth back in the 80s. And it just can't be understated how important Cyndi Lauper is.
She's so important that they're on Mars talking about her.
Yeah. And this funny because this is a Japanese anime and they're also talking about Cyndi Lauper in this. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
I love Cyndi Lauper. And you may think a lot of people know her as like this pop star, but she created hits, man, hit after hit. She's one of the reasons why Hulk Hogan is a big guy in America. I mean, she's the reason why MTV is so big. She is the deciding factor of why MTV was so big and so important to music. It's because of Cyndi Lauper. I just went on a tangent about Cyndi Lauper. I'm sorry. I'm a music nerd.
It's fine. With the music stuff, you're definitely the one who I'm leaning towards for this information. So it's all good. One thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and it's not really that big of a deal, but I found it kind of cool how a lot of these characters, it was really diverse. I mean, really diverse. You don't see a lot of dark-skinned anime characters like that, and with the first episode, I've seen plenty of them. I mean, you have Carole, who, you have her. I've seen a kid in there. I've seen when they were in the restaurant. Like, they have a really diverse cast, and that's just something I appreciated. But
I also appreciate it as well when it's not just a bunch of white people.
Yeah. It's like they just usually it's just Japanese. Well, yeah, Japanese people all the time. But
white people, or Japanese people, yeah.
Yeah, but
it goes both ways at that point.
Yeah, yeah, but going into, I guess I want to talk a little bit about Carole. She seems like she's going to be the one to teach Tuesday about the outside world, because like I said, I'm pretty sure that Tuesday is really sheltered.
Yeah,
being in the mansion. Yeah, being in the mansion with her mother, and maybe I think that was her brother. That
yeah, it seemed like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah,
I think it is. I think he mentions it as Tuesday as his sister.
Oh shit. Yeah, I didn't catch that. I think his name was Spencer, but yeah. I think Carole's going to be the one to teach Tuesday about the world, because she seems pretty well put together. She's living on her own, although she's not really, I don't think she's paying for it, because she said like the home owner is like allowing her to live there, but she still had her own job. She was still getting by herself with no help really. So I think that dynamic between the two will be pretty interesting, and I'm interested to see what Tuesday will contribute to Carole. All right, because if it's like how I said it's going to be, that's going to be one-sided. But I want to know if Tuesday is going to influence Carole in any way.
Oh no, yeah, I think they're going to influence each other in many different ways. I think Carole is going to teach Tuesday about the world and how it's like living in Alba City, things to look out for so that she doesn't get all of her stuff jacked or whatever, because she already did.
Yeah.
How to get a job, stuff like that. I think Carole's gonna teach her, and not only that, teach her how to play music better as well. She seems to be pretty freaking good already, but I think she's gonna learn so much stuff from her, and not just Yuri.
And Carole has a fucking owl.
Oh yeah, a robot owl. What is his name? Jiggy?
Jiggy. Yeah, Jiggy.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, that was great. And then we have another character named Angela. Yeah, Angela. And
she's interesting.
yeah, I feel like she's going to be a rival to the two because I don't know where else we would go with her. And she seems willing to do anything to follow her dream, I guess, of being a singer. So yeah, I think she's in for a rude awakening because she said that, yeah, you guys can basically have the reins to my life or at least my career. And she'll become their puppet. So or did they use the word marionette? I forgot. But
Is yeah, marionette, I believe.
yeah, so I think that's something she will definitely regret because just knowing about real world stuff that goes on, uh, being an industry plant isn't going to be, all that is cracked up to be. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see where we go with Angela.
She's gonna meet Carole and Tuesday, and she's gonna be like, "Wow, that's some really jamming stuff." Hee hee. Time to take over. And then Carole and Tuesday are gonna be like, and they're gonna murder her. Probably
Oh,
not. Probably not.
that went in a different direction than I expected.
I like some of the parallels of just like some of the stuff in Alba City on Mars, the stuff you see nowadays. Alba City is basically Los Angeles, like pretty much Los Angeles. Not only that, but it's Carole who is working at this part-time job or full-time job. I don't know what it is, but at this burger shack place. And she's just being abused constantly. She's called a bitch by literally every single person in there.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see where she goes because she just seems like one of just so far the most interesting character based off what she's been through.
She is just, I mean, that's a, I mean, she tried to get a revenge, but she kind of like shook it off. It wasn't really anything to her. That's something by her reaction to it. That's something she's already experienced because not only did they call her a bitch, but the one dude literally was like, I want you, like in that type of weird way. So, and she wasn't flustered. She didn't get nervous or anything like that. So she has an interesting background to say the least, and with her parents being gone as well. And there was that time when she was on the way to work and she saw a kid stealing some fruit, and then she like knocked it out of his hands, I believe, and she was like, "Don't steal." So
yeah, the
she's
kid
just
was
a
like, "Fuck
really
off!"
cool
Right?
character. Yeah, he was like, "Fuck off!" Like I'll steal this shit if I want to. It's like, yeah, she's the most interesting character to me. But I'm still invested to see what's going to happen when Tuesday's family gets involved. I'm interested to see what happens with this Angela character and how she'll experience the industry. And we also have the dude at the bar, Gas.
he's gonna be their drummer. I'm telling you.
He's going to, based on what the guy talking about how he was in the past connected with music, I'm assuming that he's going to be like the manager type of agent character to maybe book them shows so they actually get their feet in the water and they're actually able to play in front of people. Because even though Carole can play and Tuesday can play, I'm pretty sure they don't really know how to go out there and
they probably don't know how to go book themselves dates. Not only that, they probably don't know how to play on stage, which is I don't know if I've played on stage maybe like a dozen times, varying degrees of sizes of audience. I think the biggest is like 1,000 people, and the first couple times, first several times you go on, you don't know what to do. The lights are really bright. The people are probably not there for you. So, and it's also a show because you have to like entertain the people as well. They're not just there for the music; they're there for you playing the music as well, even if they don't know who you are. So that's going to be an interesting aspect as well, the performance, because I hope they'll like. What would be cool is if they started like playing on the side of the road, and then they would like move up to the bars, playing for free, and then they'd move up, paying small paying gigs, and then eventually, bigger venues and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. But I think they're gonna have a band, like an actual band, because I don't think a keyboard and a guitar player is enough for a band like that.
Yeah, that's fair. I still feel like it has to be somebody there to guide them, or they could do it on their own, but I guess we'll just see.
Yeah. Also, the ending song is a banger. I'm sorry, it's really freaking good. Everything music wise in this is awesome. The director, Shiichiro Watanabe, or whatever his name is, guy who directed Cowboy Bebop. He typically has really good music in all of his stuff. This is no different. The music, I'm buying the OST for this. I love the ending. Was there an opening in this? I don't think there was.
Yeah, I don't think there was.
Can't wait for the opening. Hopefully there's some Cyndi Lauper in there as well. I just want to listen to Cyndi Lauper. That's really all I want to do. I'm giving this like a super mega pass. I love this.
I love this. Pass.
And it's passed. Let's now talk about not Fate. Let's talk about Kimetsu no Yaiba, episode 2, technically 1 as well, since we didn't cover the first episode. Kimetsu no Yaiba, episode 2, Trainer Tsukoji Urokodaki. I am not Japanese. Tanjiro's family has been slaughtered by demons, but the only surviving person is his younger sister, Nezuko. Tanjiro then vows to save Nezuko and turn her back into a human. But after coming upon another demon that killed a bunch of people, he and Nezuko are able to defeat it. They are then met by Sankoji Urokodaki, not Japanese, who trains Tanjiro to become a demon slayer. I guess, quickly going over the first episode of Kimetsu no Yaiba, since we kind of skipped it last week. What'd you think?
I thought from the first episode, because this is another like hot topic with this show, when people saw the studio that was adapting this, they were super excited. Everybody was excited because they were like, well, first, this is getting an adaptation, and I heard a lot of good things from the manga, but they were like, this studio, the studio that did Fate Zero and all the other Fates that we love, they were like, this is going to be awesome animation wise. And the first episode, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was like great, like anime of the season, or animation of the season type of animation. But I thought the second episode was really good with the animation.
Oh my god, yeah. No, the second episode's crazy. But I didn't expect them to go so much into the gore. Like, I know Fate and Ufotable, just in general, those two entities are very, very dark and mature in their themes, and they also have typically a lot of gore. Not as much as this did in its first episode. I mean, everyone was just covered in blood, just mutilated. It was crazy. I was like, wow, I didn't think they'd be able to get away with that, honestly. And this episode was crazy as well with the guy who got his head kicked off by Nezuko. He was just dining in blood. It's even more funny in the manga, because I read the manga for this, a good bit of it, and it's great when he gets axed to the tree and he's like, "Rah, let me go! I swear I'll kill you." Reminds me of the Evil Dead, actually. But yeah, so the first episode, Nezuko gets turned into a demon. That's his last surviving family member. For some reason, she's not hostile towards any human at all, unless I assume they attack. And so far, she's only been hostile towards demons.
Yeah.
Well, there was when she first turned, she was hostile, but after he started crying, then she kind of came to, I guess. Yeah, and then the other kid shows up and threatens to kill his sister, and there's that awesome scene where he's he throws a rock at him and he's running around and he throws the axe up in the air and almost kills him. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And he saves Nezuko. And then this episode was awesome because when they walk in and they see the demon, Nezuko sees the dead bodies and she just starts drooling. She just can't stop. It's just,
Yeah.
I thought that was an awesome visual of like, wow, she's not human anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of. I thought when we first had the family get slaughtered that she was going to die in the first episode, and it was going to end up being a situation to where he lost his whole family. So now his whole mission is to slay other demons. But they took it. Maybe they knew that that's what I was going to expect, and then they were like, "No, we're keeping her alive, and this is going to be his purpose to save his sister, have her revert back to a human." And you still have the subplot of him wanting to slay demons, of course, because that's going to be along the way. So I found that interesting, and I like Tanjiro as a main character.
I really like
these
Tanjiro.
Type of shows.
He's like my favorite.
With these type of, like, I guess you can say battle shonen type of shows, it's really refreshing to have a main character who's actually smart and responsible, which he was. Just looking at the first episode, he was a big brother. He was going around in the city, and the mother could trust him with a lot of duties, and you have it to where he has this good sense of smell. So he has a lot of things going for him. He isn't like an idiot. Yeah. None of those like common tropes we see and we generally don't like.
Hero Mashima ain't writing this.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. We would have had some boob fan service if he was. So
there's some weird stuff with Nezuko for sure.
Oh,
which I think. Yeah. Well, speaking of Nezuko, in this episode we learned that she can change sizes. She can not only get bigger, she could actually get smaller. And I thought that was adorable because Tanjiro's. Well, first of all, he's like. He goes to a cave where they were hiding, and he's like, "Where's Nezuko?" She dug a hole and hid in it.
Yes,
I love that was so cute.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny to me because it like contrasts like the last episode was like it was such a serious situation. Like, oh my god, my sister got turned into a demon. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Next episode, she's just crawling in a hole like a mole or something. And then he's just like, get in the basket. Get in the basket.
Yeah, she goes to get the basket and just kind of like plops over into it, just half-heartedly. I thought that was funny. I also like the little touch of him strengthening the basket with the extra bamboo. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's just a cool little detail. It also shows that Tanjiro is a very smart guy when it comes to stuff like that, and he knows some things. Also, I liked in the first episode when the samurai kid that threatened to kill Nezuko, he's holding on to her, and she's just screaming, just like going crazy. She's just like rah rah. I wonder what Nezuko's voice actress felt like after doing that. I wonder if her voice hurt afterwards because she was just constantly screaming. It was terrific. Some high quality entertainment. There also Tanjiro's voice actor is great. There's a couple parts that made me laugh, like just his reaction to some things was super interesting. Are you dying over there?
Am I? Wait, what's going on?
Oh no, you're staticking. You're being taken over by the static. But yeah. No, Tanjiro's VO is really good. What do you think about him and some of his reactions?
Am I still like is good. Death in my mic? Oh, I don't know what happened. Yeah, like I said, I love Tanjiro, and I'm kind of interested in we've seen a flashback of him as a kid, and he didn't have that scar on his head that he has.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested as to how he got that. And
he also has a strong head as well.
Oh yeah, that
because he headbutts that monster, and that monster's like, oh, his head's hard as a rock.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be an actual thing that's brought up again, but that seemed kind of weird to me when I first looked at it. I actually do think that will be brought up again, like some way, somehow. Um, but I'm interested as to how he got that scar. And we see with him and his sense of smell, it may be something more because we see like this blue aura shit and it's very strange and I can't really explain it, but um yeah, I think like he's going to have some connection to the demons. I don't think he has like any demon blood or anything like that. I would hope not because I see that a lot, but he's special in some way, him and Nesco, but we just don't know how. And I'm kind of interested, to see where we go with that.
I feel like the spotlight definitely for a lot of people is on Nezuko because she's she's adorable, but I think Tanjiro is definitely, in terms of like the real story of the show, is gonna be a key character. That's just not me. That's just not me reading the manga because I actually don't remember anything about the manga. I actually dropped the manga because I was like, I'm just gonna wait for this to be animated, and I'm glad I did because it's so much more memorable than the manga, in my opinion. But that's just, I guess, subjective. I hope they don't do some weird shonen tropey BS explanation stuff with Tanjiro. I hope Tanjiro stays more in line with how he is now. That's for sure. Yeah. I don't want any tomfoolery played around with him where they have to explain crap. He's right now he's booked as this booked. Oh God. Right now he's written as this really smart character, and I really appreciate that. He's just not. He's not like your regular shonen dude. He's a good person that we can like, and can we please like this guy?
He even like paid for the broken basket, and he refused to like just take it. Like he has a good character to him. I really hope we don't fall back on some of the stuff we see with other characters in different battle shonen.
Yeah, we also learned that when the demons come in contact with light, they turn to ash instantly. Or very close to instantly, which I wonder if they'll do a thing where, like, since Nezuko seemingly has a lot of her humanity intact, I wonder if maybe they can kind of play fast and loose with that whole burning up in the sunlight thing. Maybe she can kind of survive it for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I definitely think she would be more resistant to it since she's not a full-on demon, because if she was, she would have eaten Tanjiro by now. So, if that were the case, I definitely wouldn't like say that's bullshit or anything like that, because it's kind of already established that something is off with her. Even the demon that we see in episode 2, he wasn't able to tell that Nezuko was a actual, like a full-on demon. He was right. It was like something's wrong with y'all two. I don't know what, but yeah.
I do wonder about that though, because the demon guy could talk, and Nezuko so far, and for a lot of the manga that I've read, she constantly has that muzzle on. So I wonder why she doesn't talk. Can she talk? Because that other guy, he was speaking fine.
I have no clue.
Also wonder how her hunger and stuff like that is going to play into effect, because she was salivating a lot. And she was frozen for, like, she was in like a different world until Tanjiro started yelling for her, and then she very quickly came around and punted that guy's head off with the quickness.
That was beautiful. I need her to sign to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We need a kicker, and she is just what we need.
Oh man,
absolutely.
I'm not a sports guy, sadly, but I get that one. So then the Sankoji Uroko Daki comes around, He has the demon. Is it the demon mask? Is that the demon mask, or is?
Yeah. Or yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I can't remember what those masks are actually called, but let's just go with demon for now. We could be wrong. He comes around and he starts to train Tanjiro. And what he does is he's like, Tanjiro, come follow me up into the mountains. And then Urokodaki is like, all right, now get back down get back down the mountain before daylight. And he's like, oh, that's going to be easy. Not so much. It turns out he set a bunch of traps and he led them down the perfect path to not set off any of those traps. And let me tell you, those traps were meant to kill because
yeah.
And not only that, but Tanjiro is already pretty nimble and fast because he dodges some of those things. And I'm like, is he a fake character? Like, what's going on here?
He is something. I mean, I can give him, that I can give a pass to, because even though he isn't an actual fighter, I guess, because he hasn't really fought anybody, we kind of established that he's living up in the mountains and he's living in like a rough place. So, him being fast and his sense of smell and things like that, and him being connected with nature, I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
I like how
he was like dodging the log. They had like the classic log trap, which is pretty fun.
A ton of them, and those things were launched with velocity too. They went into the ground. That was awesome. And oh my god, yeah, the way it was animated too. Like so this was obviously a blend of CG and some other effects and traditional animation. If we go back to last season when the Promised Neverland tried to do that, it didn't look perfect. This was like, oh wow, they're actually doing it. They did it. It's like It was a perfect blend, and that's kind of like, I guess, why a lot of people freak out about Ufotable is because they can do that stuff. Now, it isn't always perfect with them. I think this is better than the scene in Heaven's Feel when Lancer and Fake Assassin are fighting on the truck. That little glimpse of him, Tanjiro starting to dodge all of these traps and it going into this awesome moving tracking shot was much better than the one in Heaven's Feel. In my opinion, this episode had a lot of very cinematic quality stuff to it. I think they learned a couple things with Heaven's Feel.
It looked pretty damn good. I don't know if we got an official like episode, how many episodes there would be for Kimetsu no Yaiba.
I think it's 2 core.
What did you say?
I think it's 2 core.
Okay, that's cool then.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, one of the series we're watching this season, I know is 2 core. It's either Carole Tuesday or it's this, maybe both. Yeah. So much stuff in this episode looked like Ufotable behind the helm here. A lot of it looked a lot like the manga. Like I couldn't tell the difference between manga and anime at some points, like in terms of like who was drawing it. I was like, wow, that looks pretty close to the manga. That's really good. And then some parts where like Tanjiro and that demon square off in the front yard thing to that house. The way they set up that scene was like, oh, that's Ufotable. That's like a setup shot from Ufotable, like through and through. That's something they would do in almost every one of their animes since like the early 2010s. That's something they even used in Gyo, which a lot of people don't know this, but Ufotable did Gyo, which is a terrible anime. Don't watch it. God, is there anything else to talk about? Did we touch upon everything?
I think we got everything.
So, are we passing or killing this?
We are definitely passing this.
Passing this for sure. I'm glad it wasn't called a lolicon during that. That was really nice.
Yeah. You were pretty tame this time. So yeah.
Tame? You act like I'm worse.
I mean, we have the clip of what you said about Philo.
Listen,
Never forget.
it that's her bird form inside of her feathers, not, the other way.
Yeah. Okay. Tell that to the judge.
Oh my god. Um So Etchy Nut says, "Is that one of the Slipknot masks? Do you know who Slipknot is?"
I know of them.
Yeah, they wear a bunch of masks. I think he's talking about Clown, maybe. I think Clown is the one that wears the long nose masks. They may have used one of those demon masks before on stage.
Oh God, we missed so many.
We did.
We missed so many things. I wasn't looking at it the whole time.
But we're kind of at time. We kind of went 5 minutes over time because this episode of KOA was just, it's so big. I imagine, oh, wow, phrasing. With everything animated being gone, I think this week at least, I think that cut down on time. I think we may have went way over time, like 10 minutes more over time if EA was here. Because there's just so much to talk about this week with all the setup of the new shows.
Yeah.
This season doesn't seem like it's as good as last season, but it ain't bad either. I'll say that.
Strong year. Definitely a strong year.
Yeah, for sure. So, with that being said, where can they find you? Everything
Wait.
Satsuki.
Wait.
Okay.
You still had the community King of Anime.
Oh, yes, no, yeah, you're right. Yep. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Where is it at? Okay. It's right here. Let me click on that. If anyone's voting now, too late. I don't even know if anyone voted for it. And 3 people voted because I'm late.
Yeah.
This week, if something dies, I'm not even gonna count it, just because I was a dumbass. But 2 passes for Dororo, 1 kill for Dororo. That's a little weird. 100% pass for Shield Hero. Remember when Shield Hero almost died the first week?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. 2 kills for Fairygon. Fairygon was really bad.
It was. A lot of people were excited about that.
Well, it is what it is. 1 pass for Fairygon. 1 pass for the girl who chants love at the bound of this world, and 2 kills for it. I'm surprised that's not 3 kills. 3 passes for Fruits Basket. It's great anime. I cover it over on the Bento channel. 2 passes for Isekai Quartet. 1 kill for Isekai Quartet. 2 passes for One Punch Man. 1 kill for One Punch Man. And 3 passes for Zoku Owari Monogatari. And I asked the question, if Satsuki took you out to dinner, would you smash?
Wait a minute. Wait. What? Wait, because I need the right context. Would they smash, as in would they be willing to smash, or
if you were trying to if you were interested in them and you were trying to get them to smash you, like you were just trying to wine and dine them, right?
Okay.
Would they smash you? So
okay, now I understand.
The options were, of course, have you seen Satsuki? I would never come between him and Isabella. Yes, but only to tease SeaTactics. No, but I will still tease SeaTactics. And humana. Humana I got 1 vote. 1 vote for no, but I will still tease SeaTactics, and 1 vote for, of course, have you seen Satsuki? So it's a 3-way tie between those 2.
I got 1 vote. Okay.
Someone really, really likes you because they are just humana. When they see you, it's just it's like Nezuko when she saw that dead body.
My DMs are open 24/7. That doesn't mean I will answer them, but they are open. Just a note.
Beautiful. Satsuki Savage.
Oh yeah, I totally understood that. But Satsuki the Savage YouTube channel. King Daniels Jr. on Twitter. I'm getting more, I guess you could say, I'm getting more followers on Twitter. So yeah, that's where I'm mostly at, really. I'm kind of on and off with Discord, but yeah, uh, yeah, that's pretty much it. JoJo live reactions. Don't know when those are coming
It's been
ever.
gone
So
for a while, haven't they?
it's been like 3 months, I think.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
don't count on me for that.
God, me and you are so late on some of the stuff we're doing because I'm doing the Hunter x Hunter thing for Patreon, which I just first episode today for patrons, by the way. Next week's coming out for regular viewers. That took 4 months to do. But then again, I had the whole channel termination for like 2 straight months thing going on. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I second checking out Satsuki the Savage. Maybe I was the one to vote homina 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 homina. I don't know. No one has proof of this actually happening. But hopefully next week everything animated will be back and then we can actually get an answer to who voted for homina homina homina. Because we need to know, because this could be Satsuki's new waifu. And just imagine Satsuki not having Isabella as his waifu.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't see myself going away from Isabella at the moment, but with what happened in the last episode of The Promised Neverland, Isabella might not be alive. So, I'm kind of like, wait, what's the term for a male widow? Or is there even a term for that?
I have no idea. Maybe they just didn't think about it.
No. Well, yeah.
Sexless?
Free?
Free? Can we call him free at that point? I think free, yeah.
Free. Fine. I'm free.
Oh, God. Yeah. This show went 10 minutes over time. I apologize to everyone. Tune back in next week when we talk about everything animated in his trip to service all the waifus and wherever he went to. So, goodbye, everybody.